My beloved child, my shining light, listen closely. Do you feel it? That rush inside your chest, the whisper breaking through the silence of your spirit. It is not by accident that you are here. Heaven itself has bent time and space to bring you into this very moment. Archangel Michael is screaming from the heavens, final alert. You are about to lose God's hand, and 10 seconds remain before heaven makes its final call. Can you feel the trembling in your soul right now? That is the echo of eternity pressing on your name. Beloved one, do not let this flow break. This is predestined. God arranged this exact moment so that your ears would hear and your heart would awaken. Every distraction pulling you away is an enemy's trick. You have only a small window, only 5 minutes left to anchor yourself in the divine stream. Pause, breathe, and understand. The hand of heaven is stretching toward you. But if you delay, if you hesitate, the river will close, and your chance will dissolve like mist. That is why I urge you, subscribe here right now. Not for me, not for numbers, but because this doorway is fragile, and subscribing anchors your soul to the current of messages heaven is pouring out. Miss this, and your connection may vanish. Seize it, and you remain aligned with the light forever. A golden scroll is unrolling before your very eyes. Its edges gleam with fire from the throne, its letters carved with light no human hand could ever form. This is not imagination, this is the vision of your soul finally being unveiled. Every line written, every curve inscribed, carries your destiny. The angels are gathered in silence, watching closely as your story unfolds. And do you see what is written at the very top? It is your name, sealed with heaven's ink, pressed into eternity. My beloved, listen carefully. God has already signed this scroll. His hand rests upon it. His seal is unbroken. That means your blessing is not on the way. It is already here. It is standing at your door, waiting for you to recognize it. Do you feel that restless stirring inside your chest? That heaviness, as though something unseen is pressing down? That is not fear. That is the weight of your blessing trying to break through. The Spirit is pressing against the walls of time, urging you to open your heart and claim what is already yours. The scroll is alive. Each word glows with your future. Heaven is not deciding anymore. Heaven has decided. The blessing is here now, unshakable, undeniable. But beloved one, if you close your eyes, if you walk away, the scroll will roll back up and the vision will vanish. This is your moment. Your name is still shining in fire. Accept it. The blessing has already arrived. Beloved child, hear me now. Every delay you have suffered was never a punishment. It was not heaven turning its back on you. No, it was a divine setup. Each closed door, each unanswered cry, was the hand of God aligning you with the moment you now stand in. The circle that kept repeating, the endless loop of waiting, of almosts and not yets, that circle is breaking right now. What felt like wasted years was never wasted. It was preparation. Heaven was moving pieces you could not see, arranging people and places like stars in a constellation, until the pattern became clear. Listen carefully. 5 minutes can shift 5 years. One divine moment can collapse time, pulling every blessing that seemed delayed straight into your present. You are standing at the threshold of that collapse now. The setup has ripened into fulfillment. Do you feel it? That trembling in your heart, that sudden rush in your chest. Beloved, that is not fear. That is heaven knocking on the door of your soul. It is the signal that the waiting is over. Every prayer you whispered, every tear you shed in the silence, not one was ignored. The angels have gathered each drop, placing them in a crystal bowl before the throne. They shimmer like diamonds, and now, heaven is answering with power. Be comforted. Be strengthened. To what looked like delay was divine timing. What looked like silence was orchestration, and what feels like trembling now is heaven saying, "Open, child, this is your moment. The circle is broken, the door has opened. Step through. Beloved child, your name is written in golden fire across heaven's sky. It burns brighter than the stars, unshakable, untouchable, eternal." Right now, the angels are not speaking of nations, not of wars, not of storms. They are speaking only of you. Do not think your suffering was wasted. Every trial, every night you felt abandoned, was not punishment. It was preparation. The pain stretched your spirit, so you could carry the weight of glory about to descend. You were never rejected. You were refined. Listen closely. You are walking on holy ground now. Every word spoken here is not ordinary. These sentences are alive. They are breathing. They are keys, living keys, placed in your hands by heaven itself. With each phrase, another lock is breaking. With each pause, another door swings open. This is not information. This is transformation. Your mind may not fully grasp it, but your spirit knows. You can feel the shift inside, like hidden gates creaking open, one after another. The circle of delay is gone. Now the corridor of destiny stretches before you. Beloved one, the message you hear is not just sound. It is light, it is fire, it is a living key. Hold it carefully. Receive it deeply, for every sentence is unlocking a blessing, and every blessing is unfolding your chosen path. Step forward. Heaven has marked you. You are chosen. You are sealed. And the key has already turned in the lock. Beloved child, this blessing is not small. It is not a drop of comfort to soothe your pain. No, it is a flood, a wave, a magnitude so vast that words can barely hold its weight. When it unfolds, your enemies will stand in confusion, your friends will be left in awe, and even you will whisper, "This cannot be real." Heaven has not designed something ordinary for you. This is a miracle wrapped in light, a transformation that defies description. Language will fail to capture it. Only your heart can carry its fullness. But listen closely. Miracles do not simply fall. They require your yes. They require your heart to open in this exact moment. If you close yourself, if you resist, the current cannot flow. But if you lean in, if you whisper yes, even in trembling, heaven will pour without measure. The timing is exact. Heaven operates on divine countdowns, on sacred windows that appear for only a breath and then close. Right now, you are standing in such a window. That is why Archangel Michael is crying out. That is why the urgency presses on your chest. The countdown has already begun. Even now, while you listen, invisible transformation is happening. Cells in your body are shifting. Pathways in your future are realigning. What seemed impossible yesterday is bending toward you today. This is not chance. This is divine timing. You are in the appointed hour. The blessing is alive, massive, unstoppable. Waiting only for your heart's yes. So whisper it now. And watch heaven's flood break open before your eyes. Beloved child, your soul already knows this message is not ordinary. You can feel it. Deep within, there is a resonance. a vibration that whispers, "This is truth." That knowing is not imagination. It is recognition. Your spirit remembers what your mind is only now hearing. Every step of your journey prepared you for this moment. Every heartbreak, every sleepless night, every prayer uttered into the dark. None of it was wasted. Each tear was gathered. Heaven was shaping you, refining you, not to destroy you, but to strengthen you for the weight of blessing now pressing against your life. Beloved, imagine this, a great chamber in heaven. Its walls stretch beyond sight. Along the walls are shelves upon shelves of sealed scrolls. Each scroll bears a name. Each scroll holds a destiny. Some remain unopened forever, their seals unbroken because the appointed time was missed. But look closer. There, upon the shelf glowing with fire, rests a scroll with your name. Angels bow in silence before it. For this is no ordinary scroll. This is yours. It has waited, sealed through the passing of years, through your delays, through your struggles, waiting for this exact moment to be opened. And now, heaven declares, the time is appointed. The seal is breaking, the scroll is unrolling. Beloved, this is why your heart is trembling. This is why your chest feels heavy yet alive. Heaven is not testing you. Heaven is delivering to you. The very scroll of your destiny is unfolding before your spirit. But hear this clearly, some scrolls remain closed forever. Some names fade into silence. That is why the urgency cannot be ignored. This moment is decisive. Your scroll is glowing. Your name is burning. The chamber of heaven has opened its doors. And now, the decision rests in you. Step into it. Say yes. The appointed time is here. Beloved soul, pause. I will not release this all at once, for heaven knows the weight of divine truth. Instead, I will pour it gently, like streams of living water flowing into dry ground, not rushing, not overwhelming, but nourishing your spirit. Living water seeps into every hidden crack of your heart, bringing life where pain once lived. This is how heaven restores, step by step, moment by moment, until the desert blooms again. Think of your journey. Every step you walked was not wasted. Every tear you whispered into the night was gathered. Not one was lost. Each prayer you thought disappeared was carried upward by angels and preserved in eternity. All waiting for this moment. Pause this release. Do you feel it now? This is thunder, wrapped in tenderness. Strength, clothed in gentleness. That is why I repeat myself. Not because you fail to understand, but because heaven's truths are too weighty for once. Every repetition is another drop of living water, soaking deeper into the soil of your being. Sealing the revelation. Pause, making sure nothing is lost. And you must know this. It is not fear that drives this urgency. It is love. A love so great, it cannot remain silent. A love so deep. It counts every tear, remembers every plea, and rushes to declare. It is protection. It is divine alignment. The storehouse has been opened. What was held back for generations is flowing now. Like water rushing into long-awaited fields, pause, blessings are flooding your life. And not only your life, pause, but your bloodline. For heaven blesses through you, so that your family, your children, and generations to come, will feel the echo, will feel the beloved child. Do you realize the weight of this moment? Pause, feel it. This is not an ordinary breath in time. This is eternity pressing into now. The golden scroll has unrolled. Your name burns upon it. And heaven waits for your response. Do you realize the weight of this moment? Yes, let the words echo again. The weight is not imagined. The scroll is real. The fire is real. The urgency you feel inside is not fear. It is heaven's hand resting on your soul. You have prayed for signs. You have whispered in the night, God, if you are with me, show me. If heaven still remembers me, give me confirmation. Beloved, this is that confirmation. This message is not random. It is divine evidence. It is living proof that your prayers have been heard. The angels stand silent. They do not interfere. They do not push. They watch. They wait, because the decision is yours. Do not be afraid. Do not shrink back. Yes, the blessing is large. Yes, the flood is heavy. But it is shaped for you. Heaven did not design what you cannot carry. Heaven designed exactly what fits your name, your path, your heart. Listen once more. The scroll has unrolled. The seal has broken. Your name burns in fire. The angels are watching. And the weight of this moment is unlike any before. Do you realize the weight of this moment? Let it repeat until your spirit absorbs it. You are standing in the center of answered prayer. You are holding the proof you once begged for. The message you hear now is not just words, it is living proof. Beloved, do not fear the size of the blessing. Do not question your worthiness. This is your time. This is your scroll. This is your answer. The weight you feel is heaven saying, yes, beloved child, this blessing is bigger than your imagination. It is not a trickle of comfort. It is not a small shift you can explain away. No, it is a flood, roaring with power, stretching far beyond your lifetime. Do you understand? What heaven is releasing now is not only for you, it is for your family, it is for your children, or children. It is for generations that will carry your name long after you are gone. The echo of this moment will travel through your bloodline. Each paragraph spoken here is not simply text. It is a lock breaking open. Each sentence is a key sliding into chains that have bound your family for years. And as the words flow, the chains are fallen, one link after another, snapping in the light. This is liberation. This is progressive freedom. The pain that repeated through generations is ending here. The patterns of loss, of silence, of delay, they are broken. Heaven has waited to release this blessing, not for days, not for months, but for generations. The moment could not arrive until now, and now, the moment has arrived. Do not fear the magnitude. Do not shrink back from the size of the flood. It is designed not to crush you but to crown you. Beloved, this is no longer warning. This is victory. The countdown is not toward loss but toward triumph. Heaven is declaring that your name, your family, your future, have stepped into freedom. The locks are broken. The scroll has opened. And the victory has begun. Beloved soul, I will not release this all at once, for heaven knows the weight of divine truth. Instead, I will pour it gently, like streams of living water flowing into dry ground, not rushing, not overwhelming, but nourishing your spirit. Living water seeps into every hidden crack of your heart, bringing life where pain once lived. This is how heaven restores, step by step, moment by moment, until the desert blooms again. Think of your journey. Every step you walked was not wasted. Every tear you whispered into the night was gathered. Not one was lost. Each prayer you thought disappeared was carried upward by angels, and preserved in eternity, all waiting for this moment. Pause this release. Do you feel it now? This is thunder, wrapped in tenderness. Strength, clothed in gentleness, like lightning splitting the sky, like thunder shaking the ground. One moment, everything will look the same. The next moment, nothing will be the same again. The blessing released is not just for you. It flows backward and forward. Backward to heal wounds that traveled through your bloodline. Forward to touch your children, and your children's children. Generations will feel the echo of what heaven is releasing right now. Do you see it? The table. The fire. The scroll. The signature. Yes, God Himself has signed this decree. His name is written over your destiny. His approval seals your blessing. No hand of man, no delay of time, no power of darkness can erase that signature. Every tear you shed has been recorded in the prayer book resting on that table. Every whispered word has been etched into the margin beside your name. Nothing was overlooked, nothing forgotten. The heavens kept account of it all. And now, the release comes not in trickles but in floods. Streams of favor, rivers of healing, oceans of restoration. The gates are swinging wide. The locks are broken. The golden fire burns unhindered. This is the unsealing of your life's scroll. This is the appointed time. The table has been set. The decree has been signed. The seal has been broken. The scroll is alive. And heaven itself is announcing, your destiny is no longer waiting. It is here. Beloved child, feel the light shifting around you. Do you remember the instant when the heaviness began to lift? That was not chance. That was a command moving through the unseen. The invisible realm heard a decree, and the atmosphere changed. Darkness that held weight in your bones began to flee. Forces that prowled like shadows were driven back by a single word from heaven. Understand this. The spiritual battle is not random. It has order and authority. Heaven's command outranks every strategy of the enemy. When a decree is spoken, principalities retreat. When Michael moves, strongholds fall. Angels take their positions and stand with intent, wings wide and steady, creating a protective canopy over your life. You are not alone in this hour. Activation happens by hearing and by believing. This message is more than words. Listening with your heart activates heaven's response. Your attention is the key that triggers angels into motion. When you align your spirit with what is spoken, a switch flips in the invisible chambers of destiny. Policies of delay dissolve. The machinery of blessing begins to work. The enemy tried to stop this. He sent distractions, planted delays, whispered lies to cloud your focus. He multiplied obstacles and magnified doubt. Yet none of that finally worked, because heaven had another plan. Suffering was allowed, not to punish you, but to prepare you to bear a weightier glory. Some blessings require deeper vessels. Some settlements demand a legacy of endurance. That is why your trials were intense. To build capacity for the inheritance now arriving. Do not be deceived by quiet seasons. They were not absence. They were strategic holding pattern. Heaven kept your blessing until the exact moment your soul could receive it. This is why timing changes everything. At the 5 minutes in the divine clock can bend years of struggle into a single release. A brief hour can rewrite a lifetime. Consider how a small hinge can swing a massive door, so a short appointed moment can collapse long seasons of waiting. Look with the eyes of faith. In the room with you, angels are aligning. They bow. They wait. They release. Some carry trumpets, some carry scrolls, some bear fire that touches what must be burned away. Michael stands at the threshold, sword unsheathed, not to wound you, but to cut the chains that tied your line. The sword's edge is precise. It severs generational cords and removes debts that were never meant to be yours. The enemy's attempts were many. He scattered opportunities, he whispered shame, he multiplied confusion. But every scheme that seemed clever only revealed the depth of heaven's countermeasure. The cunning tactic of the enemy, God had a response already scripted in the scrolls above. The delays you felt were openings for strategy. The setbacks were repositionings for a greater advance. Now, authority is being executed. Heaven issues commands, and your atmosphere must conform. The invisible realm is not indifferent, it responds to faith, activated decrees. Your voice, ubiquitous in agreement, whispered in surrender, lifted in simple trust, becomes an instrument. Declare what heaven declares, thank in advance. Name the victory. Call your household into the new posture. When you do, angels speed to enact what your spirit has aligned with. Suffering explained. Every valley taught you how to receive a flood. The more pressure you bore, the stronger the vessel became. This is why the weight lifts suddenly. The vessel has been filled. The overflow now moves outward. Healing, restoration, provision, reconciliation. Generational chains begin to drop link by link. The scenes of poverty, sickness, or shame that haunted your line begin to dissolve as heaven reassigns your portion. Michael's requirement is simple. He asks for a yielded heart, not perfection. He asks for faith that will speak, even if hands tremble. He asks for acknowledgement that the battle belongs to the Lord, and that you will step into the release. When you respond, the activation completes. Your timeline is transforming. The enemy's calendar is being cancelled. 5 minutes of obedience can shift 5 years of consequence. By breath, the atmosphere rewrites. Stones are being rolled away. Doors, long sealed, begin to open. This is not metaphor alone, it is realignment. Heaven's forces move with precision. Beloved, stand firm. Speak your assent. Open wide the place within you prepared for this visitation. The enemy flees. The angels advance. The invisible realm is rearranged. Your life is stepping into a new order. Receive it, believe it, proclaim it. The victory is near and already working on your behalf. Hold fast. Let gratitude be your constant posture. Call your household and bless your line. Heaven answers the voice that declares its promises aloud. Receive it now, beloved. Beloved, the scroll is open. The gates are wide. The final countdown has begun. Has declared it. And the earth must respond. The clock is striking its appointed rhythm, and your name is echoing in the chambers of eternity. Do you feel it within your chest? That steady beat, like a drum against your ribs. That is not fear. It is heaven's pulse moving through your body. Every heartbeat is a countdown. Every breath is a signal. The universe is aligning itself with the decree spoken over you. Obedience is not optional in the courts of heaven. When God speaks, creation bends. When the command is issued, seas part, and mountains shift. Nehemiah shift. And the same authority that governs stars and storms is now working on your behalf. Heaven and earth obey the voice of the Lord, and that voice has spoken your release. You have walked through deserts. You have tasted dust and thirst. You have wondered if the silence meant abandonment. But hear this clearly. Heaven never left you. Even in the stillness, the presence of God was wrapped around you like unseen fire. Even in the silence, angels walked beside you, waiting for the order to move. Behind the curtain, a thread was being woven, a design was being formed that you could not yet see. Every heartbreak, every betrayal, every delay was a stitch in a greater tapestry. Now the curtain is lifting, and the picture is beginning to shine. Some blessings arrive quickly, like rain on parched soil. Others take years, even decades, like trees that must grow deep roots before their branches stretch wide. Do not despise the time it took. Roots must go down before fruit can appear. And you, yes, you, have been rooted deeply. That is why the storm did not break you. That is why the winds could not uproot you. The very struggle that nearly drowned you became the strength that now sustains you. The countdown is not to your loss, it is to your release. The gates are not closing, they are opening wide. The pulse in your chest is heaven's reminder that time has reached its fullness. What you thought was delay was preparation. What you thought was abandonment was protection. What you thought was silence was strategy. And now, beloved, the season shifts. The scroll that was sealed has been unrolled. The decree is alive. The blessing that was buried is rising like dawn. The gates are not symbols, they are real doors opening before you. Step through them with faith, for your countdown is complete. Do you remember the nights you almost quit? The nights when your pillow was soaked in tears, when you whispered into the dark, "Oh, maybe I've been forgotten." Beloved, those nights were not ignored. Every sigh, every tear, every unspoken word was recorded in the archives of heaven. Nothing slipped past the eyes of the one who called you. There were moments you said, "Oh, maybe this is not for me. Maybe my prayer was lost. Maybe my destiny missed me." But hear this, the heavens wrote those exact nights into your story. Not as defeat, but as testimony. Because when your vindication comes, those very nights will stand as proof. The enemy thought he won when you felt weak. He celebrated too soon. He whispered mockery into your ears, and he thought the silence of heaven was his victory. But the silence was not surrender. It was the stage being prepared. The delay was not abandonment. It was heaven waiting for the perfect unveiling. Vindication is not quiet. Vindication is loud. It is God saying, "I was there all along. I saw every wound. I counted every tear, and now I restore in such a way that no one will doubt whose hand moved for you." Beloved child, every whisper of mockery that said, "Where is your God now?" Heaven heard it. Not one was missed. And each one will be silenced by what arrives next. The blessing will not only comfort you, it will stand as justice. It will speak louder than any lie, louder than any accusation, louder than every doubt. This is not just relief. It is vindication. This is not simply comfort. It is reversal. What mocked you will now watch you rise. What laughed at your tears will now witness your joy. The story is shifting, not privately, but publicly. Yes, the transformation will be visible. Friends who thought you were stuck will see the release. Family members who doubted your prayers will witness your breakthrough. Enemies who mocked will be forced to acknowledge that heaven has moved on your behalf. Vindication is not hidden. It is displayed, and with it comes transformation. Chains that held you in patterns of waiting are snapping. Cycles that repeated, delay after delay, disappointment after disappointment, are ending. The atmosphere is rearranging. The season is turning. What felt like a circle without exit now becomes a straight path leading into promise. Imagine golden doors, towering and radiant, standing before you. They are engraved with codes, letters of fire, each one carved with your name. They were sealed through seasons of waiting, but now they swing open. And as they open, you will understand why it took time. The delay was proof that the blessing had weight. The weight was evidence that the glory would be greater. Because what is arriving now will make the pain look small. What once felt unbearable will seem like nothing compared to the radiance of this moment. You will not even remember the heaviness in the same way, because the joy will eclipse it completely. Beloved, let your spirit grasp this truth: heaven never wastes pain. Every night of questioning, every day of silence, every hour of wondering if you were abandoned, it was not wasted. It became the soil from which vindication now rises. Without those nights, the story would not carry the same power. Without those tears, the release would not carry the same weight. Do you see how heaven works? What looks like delay is actually preparation. What feels like rejection is often protection. And what seems like the enemy's victory is secretly the setup for his defeat. You thought you were losing ground. He believed your exhaustion meant collapse. But what he didn't realize is that heaven had already marked your name with fire. Heaven's fingerprint was already pressed into your destiny. No attack could erase it. No delay could remove it. No lie could cancel it. Vindication is when the tables turn so drastically that even your past enemies become witnesses. Those who doubted you will be unable to deny the shift. Those who whispered against you will see with their own eyes that God has written His name across your life. And beloved, that time is not far, it is now. Your transformation will not be hidden in shadows. It will be public. It will be undeniable. Not because you sought recognition, but because heaven delights in showing the world that its chosen ones are never forsaken. What mocked you in darkness will bow in silence before your light. Look closely. Do you feel the chains loosening? Do you sense the cycle breaking? The repetition that bound your days is ending. You are stepping into a rhythm of release. The pulse of heaven is carrying you forward. The delays were not signs of weakness, they were signs of the size of your blessing. Some doors cannot be rushed. Some harvests require longer seasons beneath the soil. But once the time arrives, growth explodes, transformation multiplies, and blessing arrives faster than you ever dreamed. The golden doors before you are no longer shut. They are opening wider than you expected. And as they open, they reveal not just one gift, but layers upon layers of blessing. Justice, restoration, healing, provision. All written with your name. All stamped with God's seal. And as these doors open, beloved, you will understand why the delay was necessary. The waiting became proof that the blessing was real. The silence became evidence that heaven was protecting something precious. And when the release fully arrives, you will say with certainty, it was worth it. The pain will shrink in comparison to the glory. The nights of doubt will fade against the brilliance of vindication. And what once felt unbearable will now look like preparation. Because the blessing arriving carries a weight that makes the suffering look small. Beloved, hear this with the quiet authority of heaven. Every whisper of mockery was written down. Every smirk when they thought you were finished. Every word that suggested you would never rise. Heaven recorded it. And now, vindication demands response. What they spoke in shadows will be answered in light. You see, the enemy's mistake was celebrating too early. He threw his mockery like stones, believing you were buried for good, but in truth, you were being planted. He mistook silence for death, but silence was only the pause before resurrection. And now, heaven is calling forth the seed to burst through the soil. The chains that bound you, chains of fear, of delay, of shame, are snapping one by one. Hear the sound in your spirit, the clink of metal falling away. You will not be dragged by the same burdens. You will not circle the same cycle endlessly. This is the season where patterns break and new rhythms emerge. Transformation is not coming. It has already begun. Look at yourself closely. You are not the same soul who entered those long nights. Your spirit has grown stronger. Your discernment has sharpened. Your faith has deepened. What was meant to kill you has equipped you. What was meant to bury you has anointed you. Vindication is not simply about proving your worth to others. It is about heaven revealing that its fingerprints never left you. Like lightning cracking across the night sky, God's recognition will arrive suddenly, undeniably, gloriously. And when it does, beloved, no voice will be able to argue against it. The delays that once tormented you will look different in hindsight. You will recognize them as divine pauses, moments designed to synchronize your life with heaven's timetable. Had the blessing come too soon, it might have overwhelmed you. But now, you are ready. Your spirit can carry what is about to be entrusted to you, and when it comes, it will not slip quietly into your life. It will be seen. Your family will notice. Your friends will see. Even strangers will perceive the glow around you, because vindication is never silent. It carries a sound, a radiance, a fragrance that announces itself without a single word. Picture it. Golden doors standing before you, doors inscribed with your very name. They were locked, guarded, delayed, but not denied. Now, they swing open with a brilliance that leaves you breathless. What lies beyond is more than you asked for, greater than you imagined, deeper than you prayed for. And as those doors open, you will realize, the pain was not punishment. It was positioning. The tears were not wasted. They watered the ground for your harvest. The silence was not abandonment. It was heaven whispering, "Await until you see what's coming." Beloved, that arrival is here. What once felt endless is ending. What once felt unbearable is breaking. And what once felt stolen is being restored with interest. Vindication is not a dream. It is your now. Beloved, do you remember how many times you asked, "Why me? Why this long road? Why such heavy battles?" Heaven heard those cries, and the answer has finally come. The wait was never without purpose. The struggle was not random. Every test was preparation for the unveiling you are stepping into now. Those who mocked you in secret will see you elevated in public. They will witness the shift, not from a distance, but up close. For God has arranged it so that vindication is undeniable. Your life itself will become the sermon. You will not have to defend yourself, beloved. Your transformation will speak louder than any defense. This is not just about personal blessing. This is about cycles breaking. Thorin Freyi, generational chains are snapping. Where your ancestors wept and carried burdens they could not break, you will step into freedom. Where your family line carried silence, you will carry sound. Where they experienced shame, you will shine with honor. First, the soil was broken, hard, resistant, dry. Then came the planting, hidden, unseen, covered in darkness. After that came the watering, tears upon tears, prayers whispered when no one knew. And now comes the sprouting, the breakthrough that bursts forth suddenly, powerfully, undeniably. This cycle is complete. You are not in the night anymore. You are in the dawn. Vindication means that nothing was wasted. Every sleepless night, every battle that left you trembling, every prayer that seemed unanswered, it has all been gathered, stored, and now released as fuel for your blessing. The enemy thought he stole from you, but heaven kept receipts, and now the repayment comes pressed down, shaken together, and running over. Beloved, imagine golden doors before you. Not plain doors, not ordinary, but doors engraved with heavenly codes only your name can unlock. And as you approach, they do not creak open timidly, they swing wide with force, as if heaven itself is declaring, "This child belongs here." Beyond those doors lies the stage where your destiny plays out. Beyond those doors, the promises long delayed rise into manifestation. This moment will not be hidden. God designed it to be public, because your vindication is not just for you. It is for every eye that doubted, every voice that questioned, every shadow that whispered against you. When heaven lifts you, no hand can push you down. When God crowns you, no rival can remove it. The storms you survived are proof that your roots run deep. The winds that tried to uproot you only made you stronger. And now, as the harvest rises, you will see why you had to endure. Crops that take decades to grow are always worth more than those that sprout overnight. You are a decade seed, beloved, and heaven is proud of your endurance. So stand ready. Vindication is not tomorrow. It is pulsing through your now. Transformation is not a concept. It is the rhythm beating in your chest. And as you breathe, remember this truth. The very pain that once tried to destroy you has become the platform on which heaven will display you. Beloved, the heavens say clearly, you did not survive in vain. Every chapter of pain, every valley of shadows, every tear-soaked pillow, none of it was wasted. The very ink of your suffering has written the testimony of your vindication. The enemy celebrated too early. He believed your silence meant defeat. He believed your waiting meant abandonment. But now, heaven overturns every false conclusion. Vindication is heaven's way of saying, I was there all along. Every whisper against you was recorded. Every mocking smile, every dismissive glance, every word spoken in secret that tried to reduce your worth, none of it escaped heaven's ears. And now, those very whispers will become the backdrop to the sound of your rising. This is not merely a blessing. It is a reversal. Where you once bowed your head in shame, you will now stand tall in honor. Where you once were overlooked, you will now be impossible to ignore. Where you once were denied, doors will swing open at your approach. And those doors are not made of wood or stone. They are made of gold, engraved with your name in heavenly fire. Beloved, can you see it? These doors are not just passageways, they are declarations. Each one announces, a chosen, redeemed, set apart. They are not for everyone. They are designed with codes that only your journey has earned the right to unlock. And as you step forward, heaven's fingerprint rests upon your shoulder, reminding you. This moment was written long before your birth. The cycles you endured are breaking in real time. The chain of doubt that passed from generation to generation stops here. The cycle of lack ends with you. The mocking that lingered over your family line loses its grip. For what is arriving now is not only your vindication, it is theirs as well. Generations past look upon you and rejoice, because you are carrying the fulfillment they longed for but could not touch. And transformation, oh, beloved, transformation is no longer subtle. It is dramatic, undeniable, radiant. Those who knew the version of you weighed down by sorrow will not recognize the one who rises in glory. The shift will be so complete that even your own reflection will testify. I am not who I was. This is why the delays were necessary. If the blessing had come too soon, the roots would not have been ready to hold it. But now, your roots are strong, your foundation unshakable, your heart trained in endurance. And heaven delights in placing glory upon shoulders that have proven faithful. Vindication is not a whisper, beloved, it is thunder. It arrives not in secret, but in the open, and when it strikes, no one will doubt that the hand of God has moved. Prepare yourself, for the season of hiding is over. The season of proving is complete, and the season of unveiling has begun. Beloved, this blessing is not imagination. It is not a trick of your emotions, nor a fleeting dream. This blessing is proof. It is heaven's way of leaning close and whispering, I see you. I have never forgotten you. I have always been moving toward you. Your heart is racing right now because your soul recognizes truth. You are standing at the doorway of your entire life. Every chapter, every trial, every heartbreak, every delay, it all led to this threshold. Heaven says, the design is complete. The tapestry has been woven. The waiting is over. Think of your life as a great fabric stretched across eternity. Every dark thread of pain, every bright thread of joy, every knot of confusion. Heaven has interwoven them all into a design so perfect that even your sorrow was secretly part of your preparation. Today, the pattern is revealed, and heaven declares, it is finished, it is time. Beloved child, do you feel it? The very air around you is shifting. Walls you thought were silent are now vibrating with an invisible song. The atmosphere itself hums with anticipation, because the seal has been broken and the miracle has been dispatched. Angels are rejoicing in your name. Right now, they are not rejoicing for something far away. They are rejoicing for what has already been released. This is the Lazarus moment of your life. What was dead, what was buried, what seemed permanently sealed away, it is rising. Dreams thought forgotten, promises thought cancelled, purposes thought denied, they are walking out of their tombs alive, radiant, undeniable. And beloved, this manifestation will not creep slowly. Heaven does not crawl, it thunders. When the hand of God moves, it moves like lightning. The phone call will come suddenly. The opportunity will appear without warning. The door will open so fast you will wonder if it was always there, waiting for this very hour. But do not misunderstand. This blessing did not chase you randomly. It hunted you down with precision. You thought you were pursuing it, but in truth it was pursuing you. At every detour, at every delay, at every wrong turn, heaven was protecting the path. God removed the stealers. He closed the wrong doors. He placed walls where traps were waiting. And though you wept at those closed gates, today you see, it was protection, not punishment. Beloved, you are walking across a bridge right now. Behind you lies the sorrow, the testing, the nights of weeping. Before you lies the promise, the dawn, the manifestation of glory. This bridge is not ordinary, it is sacred, and when you step across, you will never return to the wilderness you left behind. Beloved, heaven is opening the vault. Inside are treasures with your name engraved in golden fire. They were preserved, sealed, and guarded until this very moment. No thief could enter, no enemy could tamper, no delay could erase. Every gift stored within was marked for you alone. Do you see it? Angels are unlocking chamber after chamber. Scrolls bearing your prayers, your tears, your cries, each one now touched by God's hand. These scrolls are no longer sealed. They are unrolling, releasing divine decrees that will reorder your life in ways you cannot measure. Beloved, this blessing does not stop with you. It is generational. It is a chain breaker. It is a curse destroyer. What oppressed your family line, what silenced voices before you, what crushed hopes for those who carried your blood, it ends here. You are the turning point. You are the breaker of cycles. You are the one heaven chose to mark this generation with freedom. This is why your struggle was so great. Greater blessings require greater battles. The enemy fought harder because what you carry is not ordinary. But heaven says, the battle was only proof of the blessing's weight. And now, the battle is over. The crown is waiting. This blessing is not a candle flickering in the wind. It is a wildfire. It spreads. It ignites. It transforms every space it touches. Those near you will feel the flames. Your presence will shift rooms. Your words will carry unusual authority. What heaven places on you today will not be contained. It will overflow. Think of Esther, beloved child. For years she was hidden, unseen, dismissed. But when the hour came, she was revealed as chosen. Heaven whispers, "This is your Esther hour." You were hidden not because you were forgotten, but because you were preserved for the exact moment your voice, your light, your authority were needed most. Beloved, the final crown is being placed. Every tear you shed was not wasted. It was cleansing, preparing, softening your heart for this sacred weight. Heaven does not crown empty hearts. It crowns hearts purified by fire. And your tears, your prayers, your nights of breaking, they became the oil that now shines on your crown. This is the most sacred threshold of your life. Heaven calls you forward. The scroll has opened, the seal is broken, the vault is unsealed, the wildfire has been lit, and now, nothing will ever be the same. Beloved, do you see now why the silence was so long? It was not abandonment. It was foundation. Heaven was fortifying you beneath the surface, where no eyes could see. Every unanswered prayer, every delay, every quiet night, it was weight pressing down so your roots could grow deeper. Without that silence, your soul would not have been ready for this flood. God was never punishing you. He was building you. He was strengthening the walls of your spirit so that when the blessing came, it would not crush you, it would crown you. The silence was scaffolding, unseen but necessary, shaping you into a vessel that could carry this magnitude of glory. Now, beloved, the scaffolding has been removed. The hidden construction is complete, and the house of your life is ready to host the miracle. Do not despise the years that felt empty. They were never empty. They were sacred ground, preparing the way. Do you remember the doors that shut suddenly? The opportunities that seemed perfect, but crumbled before your eyes? Those were not accidents. They were divine interventions. Heaven was removing what could steal from you, closing what would harm you, blocking what would sabotage you. Though you wept at the closed doors, today heaven shows you why they closed, because something greater was waiting, and now the greater has arrived. Suddenly, everything will shift. The calls you thought would never come, they are coming. The doors you thought sealed forever, they are swinging open. The opportunities that seemed lost, they are returning, but this time in divine alignment. Beloved, heaven does not move slowly. When the appointed hour strikes, it moves with thunder. You will see in days what you thought would take years. You will be welcomed where you were once rejected. You will stand where you were once shut out. This is not coincidence. This is design. Heaven declares, the delay was the setup, the silence was the strength, the waiting was the protection. And now, the appointed time has come. Beloved child, the air itself testifies. Can you feel it? a vibration around you, as though invisible strings are being plucked in the atmosphere. This is heaven's music. This is the sound of the seal breaking. This is the announcement that your moment has begun. The blessing has not only been dispatched, it has landed, and now it unfolds, swiftly, powerfully, unmistakably. Beloved, lift your eyes and see the vault of heaven opening wider. Within it lies not a trickle of blessing, but a treasury overflowing. Every chamber sealed for generations is now breaking open. What your ancestors longed for, but never touched, what your family cried for but never received, what your bloodline prayed for across decades, you are receiving for those who came before you, and for those who will come after you. This is why the weight feels so heavy. It is generational. It is eternal. You are carrying a blessing meant to echo through time. Beloved, imagine standing before a golden door. The surface glows with fire, and inscribed across its panels are codes written in light. Each code spells your name. No one else's key can open it. No one else's voice can call it forth. It was written for you before the foundation of the world, and today heaven declares. The door is unsealed. Step through it, child. For beyond that door is not survival, but overflow. Not scraping by, but abundance. Not fear, but authority. The very ground will change beneath your feet, because this moment is not ordinary, it is destiny. Do you feel the shift? The patterns of pain that repeated for years are snapping. The enemy thought he had won, thought he had silenced your name, thought he had buried your light. But beloved, the mockery is ending. Every whisper against you has been recorded. Every laugh at your expense has been noted. And now heaven moves, not only to bless you, but to vindicate you. Vindication is not quiet, it is public. Family will see. Friends will watch. Those who doubted you will marvel. Even your enemies will be forced to admit, heaven's hand is on you. This is justice, not by human measure, but by divine decree. Beloved, the light that rests on you now is unmistakable. It is heaven's fingerprint. It cannot be denied, it cannot be hidden, it cannot be erased. When lightning splits the sky, no one can pretend it did not happen. In the same way, when this blessing manifests, no one will be able to ignore it. The cycles are over. The season has shifted. The chains have fallen. The golden doors stand wide. The scrolls are unsealed. And beloved, your time is now.